Yes, sir.
And so I think right now we're operating under an illusion of freedom, an illusion of
Yes, sir. What do you have to say to local members of the community that a lot of whom I've spoken with that are in support, but in fear at the same time of speaking out because they don't want to be retaliated against?
The first thing I want to say is to those of you who brought the wonderful soup, the wonderful chili, the meat, and all
Pizza
those
time.
thank you so much. You were so gracious and kind. And I sincerely understand your concern because that is something I have heard throughout, not just here, but ranchers after ranchers, but throughout Utah, Arizona, to those ranchers I talked to there, that if we stand up and we do something like this, the federal government will come in and take our land. I'm here to tell you, I'll tell you an actual account. The head of the grazing board down there, the president of the grazing board down there where my ranch is, came to in a public meeting and said, Mr. Cooper, if you don't stop what you're doing, we're going to label you as a rebellious rancher. And then they won't want to take your ranch that I'll be out there doing something like maybe fixing my barrel, and they'll come and say, you can't do that. You are a rebellious rancher. I'll leave my ranch. So what kind of government is that? If when they live in fear of what a central power will do to them. Yeah, give me your jacket, now your shirt, now your pants, now your boots, now your hat. Oh, and now that you're naked, you're a terrorist and you're going to jail. Because I wasn't talking to dress. Right, okay. That's right.
Thank you, Mr. Jason Patrick. Well, Lavoy, I want to thank you personally out here for your service to our country, sir.
Well,
at this important time.
I want to tell you the real people that I like to keep my hats off to is those ladies in the kitchen that work behind the scenes feeding everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, no person's effort is greater than another person's effort. And so, again, I want to thank those people who bring this to the community, those who encourage and serve the people here. That's real service. It's unrecognized and it's sincere. So those.
Yes, sir. Thank you, each and every one of you, of course. Yep. Thank you. That's why we're out here.
That's right.
To show, that you guys are human beings, patriotic human beings out here, right? Men, women, and
no children. Men, women.
Yes.
No children.
There you go. Awesome.
Well, I'm going to put my dry socks on.
Sure. Look at that. Freaking unbelievable. Unbelievable. Real good shit. Oh, yeah. By the way, when it really counts, ladies and gentlemen, the mainstream media is nowhere to be found. We got one satellite truck left. We got 2 vehicles, and that's it. That's all we have here. Okay? We're literally out in the middle. Hey, Cat Mel, can you do me a huge favor? Dude, I have to freaking do something right now. Can you hold this? All right, dude? Hold on a couple seconds. What's that again? I said, I said I'm sorry that I'm not being your bitch right now.
He who has the microphone makes the rules.
Stay right there, Kevin. Okay, thank you so much.
Wonderful.
Hey, I got beverages. You want one of these? What's up? If you want one now or later, check it out. If you want, you can put it in the fridge. What? What?
I got a feeling we're going to be out here for a while, right?
Oh, we're not fucking going nowhere. Yeah, please stay with me. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, once again, Captain O and I are reunited, Captain O, because of some security considerations with me putting out information about, well, you know, we've got, unfortunately, I've got some stalkers, and I've had some recent threats because of me broadcasting my location at the Silver Spur. So Captain O, once again, is looking out for my safety, just like old times, right? Like the border convoy. And, of course, he's the one that brought HBO Vice out here. You did a documentary. Do you mind if I put you on here and talk about this? I want to ask you about this.
I did want to say something to the camera, not necessarily about that, but...
Yeah, wait. Watch this. This is what we're going to do right here. Okay? As a matter of fact, turn this way. See if we can get a little bit more light. Yeah, come here. Come here.
Yeah, let's get out here for a minute.
Yeah. Let's get in the light a little bit. Just a little bit of side lighting. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Captain O and I here.
I think the important thing that I want to say to everyone is that, regardless, we have a lot of patriot groups that are out there saying, you know, what they did was wrong and this and that and the other. And the reality is that's semantics. We have people here that are standing up for the Constitution. They're doing everything they can to make their voices heard. And whether you agree with the ethics or not, the reality is, patriots, we still have to stand up and support them in their message. You don't have to support them in their tactics, but you do have to support them in their message. And we need every patriot in this country to come out here and support the message. Also, we need to make sure as patriots that this doesn't turn into another Waco. That was one of our biggest things at Bundy's when everybody showed up there, that we were going to prevent that from turning into a Waco. We have the same situation going on here.
Yeah, we do.
And when I see patriots online and this and that, and saying bullshit, well, what they did was wrong and this and that, you know what? Forget about that. The reality is patriots are going to stand up for the Constitution. We got other patriots standing up for the Constitution. You guys need to be out here. You need to show your support. You need to stop the bickering and point the fingers. These guys need your support. They need your help, and they need it now.
Well, I'm also going to highlight the following, and this is an observation. You tell me whether or not it's accurate. Okay? We're here in a different capacity, obviously. You with in the meeting capacity with vice.
Yeah, and for all those, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm right now in the process of trying to set up a constitutional security protection force to make sure that that these federal agents and these law enforcement don't just come in here like cowboys. We have to prevent that. Also, I'm here in a security capacity for Pete because, of course, Pete's got a lot of wacko friends. Like a third man.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, thank you. That way I can get my job done without having to worry about some knucklehead hitting the back of my head. But listen, here's another important consideration here. You and I right now, okay, you and I right now, we observed what was happening. They were buzzing around in France. There's no doubt about it.
Oh yeah,
I've never seen that
coming by taking pictures of our vehicles, everything. I mean, and the reality is that the good people out here, like myself and everybody else, everybody's being watched. I mean, they can come in and do anything they want to anybody right now because they're labeling everybody as terrorists for some reason. You stand up for the Constitution. You stand up for what you believe in. You stand up for the truth and the rule of law. All of a sudden, you're a terrorist. Yeah. Now they're going to throw you in jail and say, well, you don't get due process because terrorists don't deserve due process. And that's one thing that we cannot allow to happen as Americans.
Here's what we need. I'm going to tell you something right now, okay? Captain Joe, myself, okay? I'm not armed. I'm armed with my mouth, okay? I'm armed with my live stream. I'm armed with a coalition of like-minded individuals that sit at home on YouTube and watch this. But I'm going to tell you something right now. How many patriots do you see at this front gate right now?
I'm not sure how many were.
I know. I'm talking about how many people showed up here as a buffer in between the federal government and these beautiful people on the other side. How many people are right here at this fence willing to protect these beautiful people? Unarmed patriots. I call for 100,000 of them out here.
Absolutely.
How many showed up?
If you want to come out and stand in the road, if you want to come out and stand in the road that blocks the reserve with flowers and flags and everything else, then do that. If you want to lock arms in front of this reserve and make sure that these federal agents and this corrupt government doesn't come through those gates, you can do that. Yeah. Or if you want to go on in and do what you got to do, then go on and do that. Everybody has a place in this, and everybody needs to be here. This bickering and the bullshit that's going on with the Patriots right now needs to stop. This is a stand for the Constitution, and one way or another, we need to do it as a country.
We do. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say two things. Captain, if you don't mind me saying so, right? And I'm not going to be out of line. If I am, you can just slug me in the side of the head. I'm not going to be out of line. I need to be really responsible right now. I called out this morning for 100,000. Why we can't have 100,000 people in America? There's 350 million. I just figured we had a percentage of people who really cared. Okay, regardless. You know, if somebody was drunk driving, should we SWAT team them with the freaking FBI? Right?
Exactly.
If somebody was doing 95 in a 50, should we send federal agents in and kill them? Okay? Even if, and I don't even know about the legalities, let the judicial system work its way up. These guys don't need to be freaking killed. Okay? And I want 100.
Nobody's going to get killed.
Okay, I want 100.
It's going to be done peacefully. It's going to be lawfully, and it's going to be done with the help of good American patriots like yourself out there.
That's the only way it's going to happen. If we get good patriots here, unarmed, men and women, okay, locking arms, we will stand in between a tyrannical federal government, okay? We already know they are. FBI, check it out, dude, okay? We don't need you to resolve the issues. You know who we need? I'm going to tell you who we need. We need the guy that I've been. That I've been calling out. Actually went to the sheriff's office. Sheriff David Ward. I'm going to say this based on what I've seen happen tonight, the nervousness of this entire crew and the state of alert that these guys are in. I'm calling for your resignation for incompetence and putting lives in jeopardy, including the lives of the frontline troops that I spoke with today on front of your sheriff's department. They have no idea who these good patriots are on the inside. They're shaking in their freaking boots, wondering if they're going to get shot. Nobody wants to shoot a constitutional sheriff. And you know what? If you think you're being threatened, okay, you know who's issuing those threats? It's your fake FBI freaking emailing types that use that to justify bringing in their heavy forces. Guess what, Sheriff Ward? You're in way over